You'll never prove it was me, Lisa smirked, her perfectly manicured nails tapping against her wine glass as I doubled over in pain at our family dinner table. Through my blurred vision, I could see her satisfied expression while chaos erupted around us. My husband James was calling 911, his voice panicked as he described my symptoms. My mother-in-law Margaret hovered nearby, alternating between concerned glances and suspicious looks. My name is Olivia Parker, and at 32, I never expected to be rushed to the emergency room during what should have been a routine Sunday family dinner. The bitter taste in my coffee should have been my first warning. But I dismissed it, not wanting to cause a scene. Lisa, my sister-in-law, had insisted on pouring it herself, claiming it was a new premium blend she'd discovered. Something's wrong, I gasped, my stomach cramping violently. I think I've been poisoned. Lisa's laugh cut through the room like glass. Always so dramatic, Olivia. Maybe you're just allergic to something. Or maybe, she paused, her voice dripping with false concern, you're pregnant? The paramedics arrived within minutes, their efficient movements a blur as they loaded me onto a stretcher. Through the haze of pain, I heard Lisa's voice again, closer this time, whispering so only I could hear. Good luck proving anything. No one will believe you anyway. They never have. She was right about one thing. No one had believed me before. For the past 3 years since I'd married James, Lisa had been systematically trying to destroy me. Small things at first, missing items, altered conversations, subtle manipulations that made me look careless or forgetful. But lately, her actions had become bolder, more dangerous. Last month, my brake lines had been mysteriously cut. The mechanic called it tampering, but there was no proof. 3 weeks ago, my allergy medication had been replaced with something else, sending me into a severe reaction. Again, no proof. As the ambulance sped toward the hospital, I fought to stay conscious. The paramedic was asking questions, taking vital signs, but all I could think about was the look on Lisa's face. She finally done it, escalated to something that couldn't be explained away as an accident or coincidence. Stay with us, Mrs. Parker, the paramedic said, his voice firm but kind. We're almost there. Can you tell me what you ate or drank before the symptoms started? Coffee, I managed to say. Just coffee. Lisa made it. The emergency room was a flurry of activity. Blood draws, questions, more tests. James arrived shortly after, his face pale with worry. Olivia, honey, what happened? Lisa says you were acting strange all evening before you got sick. Of course she did. Lisa had been laying the groundwork for weeks, making subtle comments about my unstable behavior, planting seeds of doubt in James's mind. She'd always been jealous of our relationship, convinced I'd somehow stolen her brother away from her. James, I grabbed his hand, my voice weak but urgent. You have to believe me. Lisa. She did this. She's been trying to hurt me for months. I saw the doubt flicker across his face, the same expression he always wore when I tried to expose his sister's actions. Liv, you're not thinking clearly. Lisa would never. She's family. Family. The word felt bitter in my mouth. Family didn't try to destroy you. Family didn't poison you during Sunday dinner. The doctor returned with initial blood test results, his expression grave. Mrs. Parker, we found something concerning in your blood work. Something that suggests this wasn't a simple case of food poisoning. Lisa's confident smirk flashed through my mind again. You'll never prove it was me. But as the doctor continued speaking, I realized the blood tests had revealed something far more sinister than just poison. Something that would change everything. Lisa had made a crucial mistake, one that would finally expose not just this attempt on my life, but a pattern of behavior that went back much further than anyone realized. The monitor beside my bed beeped steadily as the doctor explained what they'd found. With each word, the pieces started falling into place. Lisa hadn't just tried to poison me. She accidentally exposed her own dark secret, one that would turn her entire world upside down. I closed my eyes, remembering the satisfied look on her face as I collapsed at dinner. She thought she finally won, finally found a way to get rid of me for good. But she had no idea what was coming. Sometimes the truth reveals itself in the most unexpected ways, and as I lay there in the hospital bed, I realized this wasn't the end of the story, it was just the beginning. The blood test results changed everything. Dr. Stevens sat at the edge of my hospital bed, his face serious as he explained what they'd found. Mrs. Parker, your blood shows traces of not just one type of poison, but a complex mixture of toxins. The concerning part is that these particular combinations match 3 unsolved poisoning cases from the past 5 years, all of them involving young women in their early 30s. My heart raced as I processed this information. 3 other cases, he nodded, glancing at his tablet. All 3 women survived, but they were never able to prove who poisoned them. The cases went cold. The most recent was 8 months ago, just before you married James. Suddenly, memories started flooding back. Lisa's strange comment at my engagement party. You're lucky number 4, aren't you? At the time, I thought she was referring to James' past relationships. Now it took on a much darker meaning. The police arrived shortly after, 2 detectives who introduced themselves as Martinez and Cooper. They listened intently as I recounted everything. The coffee, Lisa's behavior, the previous accidents that I'd suspected were her doing. Mrs. Parker, Detective Martinez said, we're going to need a detailed statement. These cases, they've been on our radar for years. We just never had enough evidence to connect them. James walked in during my interview, his face pale as he heard the detectives discussing the other cases. This can't be right, he protested. Lisa's a pharmaceutical researcher. She would never. A pharmaceutical researcher? Detective Cooper's head snapped up. Where exactly does she work? Meridian Labs, James replied. She's been there for 6 years. The detectives exchanged meaningful looks. Meridian Labs had a break-in 5 years ago, Martinez explained. Several experimental compounds were stolen. The same compounds we found traces of in the previous victims. I watched as the color drained from James's face. His sister, his brilliant, perfect sister, was suddenly being revealed in a completely different light. There's more, Detective Cooper added. All 3 previous victims had connections to your brother, Mr. Parker. One was his college girlfriend, another was his coworker he briefly dated, and the third was a woman he'd been seeing just before he met Olivia. James sank into the chair beside my bed, his hands trembling. This can't be happening. Lisa, she's always been protective of me. But this? Protective? I laughed bitterly. James, she's been systematically targeting women in your life. I'm just the first one who survived long enough to expose her. The hospital room fell silent as the weight of this revelation settled over us. Lisa hadn't just tried to poison me. She'd been practicing, perfecting her technique on other women who got too close to her brother. Detective Martinez stood up. We have enough to bring her in for questioning. The lab results combined with her access to the stolen compounds give us probable cause. Wait, I said, remembering something. Check my phone. I started recording our family dinners after the brake line incident, just audio recordings. I thought if something happened. Cooper quickly took my phone, and soon Lisa's whispered threat played clearly through the speaker. Good luck proving anything. No one will believe you anyway. They never have. James buried his face in his hands. Oh God, Olivia. All this time, you were telling the truth, and I didn't believe you. I let her. Mr. Parker, Martinez interrupted gently. We need to move quickly. Your sister's expertise means she'll know how to cover her tracks. Is there anywhere she might go if she suspects we're onto her? Before James could answer, my phone buzzed with a text. It was from Lisa. You should have died at dinner. Now I'll have to try harder. Family dinner's canceled next week. Permanently. The detectives immediately sprang into action, calling for backup and issuing a BOL for Lisa. But as I watched them rush out of the room, I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't over. Lisa had spent years perfecting her methods, carefully selecting her victims. She wouldn't give up easily. James gripped my hand tightly, his voice breaking. I'm so sorry, Olivia. I should have protected you. I squeezed his hand back, knowing we'd need each other for what was coming. Because somewhere out there, Lisa was planning her next move. And this time, she had nothing left to lose. The heart monitor beeped steadily as night fell over the hospital. Each sound a reminder that I was still alive, still here to expose the truth. But somewhere in the darkness, a woman who'd gotten away with attempted murder 3 times before was plotting her revenge. And I had a feeling the next family dinner would be one none of us would ever forget. In the days that followed, the police were everywhere, uncovering shocking truths. Lisa was missing, but her secrets were coming to light. Detective Martinez visited me at the hospital with a thick file. We found her journal, he said. hidden in her desk at Meridian Labs. She wrote down everything. Every poisoning, every attempt. She was obsessed with protecting your husband, and it started years ago. I was leaving the hospital that afternoon, but nothing felt safe anymore. Every shadow seemed dangerous, and every stranger felt like they could be Lisa, ready to finish what she started. Then the phone rang. You ruined everything, Lisa's cold voice said. But I can fix it. One last family dinner, Olivia. Just you and me, or I start sending those experimental compounds to every member of this family. Let's see how James handles watching everyone he loves suffer. I should have called the police or told James. But I knew Lisa wasn't bluffing. She had already shown how far she'd go. Where? I asked. Our childhood home. Tonight at 8. Come alone, or I start mailing packages. I left a note for James before he came home from work. I'm sorry. I have to end this. I knew he'd be mad, and the police would say I was being reckless. But it needed to end. The old Parker family house was dark and empty. It was abandoned after Lisa's parents died. She insisted on keeping it that way, saying it was for sentimental reasons. Now I wondered what other secrets it held. Lisa was waiting in the kitchen, a familiar coffee cup on the counter. One last drink together, she said with a smile. Fitting, isn't it? Why? I asked, pressing the record button on my phone. Why hurt all those people? Why me? He was mine first, she snapped. My brother, my family. Then others took him away. But you were the worst. You made him love you, made him choose you. He's not yours to keep, Lisa. Drink the coffee, she demanded, pushing the cup forward. Quick and painless. Better than you deserve. I reached for the cup, trying to stall for time. Just then, a floorboard creaked behind her. Lisa turned around as James stepped out of the shadows. I knew you'd come here, he said, his voice heavy with pain, to the place where it all started. Lisa's face twisted with anger. You weren't supposed to be here. This was supposed to be just us. It's over, Lisa, Detective Martinez said, stepping in with his gun drawn. We heard everything. But Lisa wasn't giving up. With a scream, she lunged at me, a syringe suddenly in her hand. Before anyone could react, a gunshot echoed through the house. Lisa fell, the syringe rolling away. Detective Martinez had shot her in the shoulder, stopping but not killing her. As they took her away in handcuffs, Lisa's calm mask finally broke. I did it for you, she screamed at James. Everything was for you. No, James said quietly. Everything was for yourself. After that, things were quieter than I expected. Lisa admitted to trying to hurt multiple people. Her journal, the recording, and the stolen chemicals found in her home were enough proof. She would spend years in prison, getting the help she needed. 6 months later, James and I were in our new home, far away from the painful memories. The last victim before you, James said softly. She survived but left town right after. I always wondered why. Now I know. I held his hand. We can't change the past, but we can choose how to move forward. He smiled and pulled me close. No more family dinners for a while. I laughed. Actually, I was thinking we could start our own tradition. New memories, just us. The doorbell rang. It was Detective Martinez and his wife, bringing takeout, new friends, new beginnings. The coffee pot sat untouched in the kitchen. Some traditions, we decided, were better left behind.